start the statement whenever you're ready.
Well, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how proud I was of the group and their effort in the second half. They don't need moral victories. They're not this kind of group, but we had a choice. We had a decision. You know, we had a choice. We had a test, and we got tested in the first half, and we had a choice of how we were going to come out. And I was just very proud of how they competed in the second half.
Kelly, career high for you, 30 points. Was it a case of you're playing against the best that brought out the best in you?
A little bit of both. I mean, I'm just really competitive, and you know, I just wanted to see our team win. You know, when I saw that we were down by 20, I said I have to do something about it. So I just tried to knock it down. My teammates found me at the right time. So.
Coach, talk about how tough it was to play defense with all those players out there on the court with 4 fouls towards the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean that definitely had an effect. Well, in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we had some lineups and we were pulling things to try to, you know, create something. We were stuck on 14 forever, and you know, that's that break that I'm watching every JMU game. Every team that played them, you know, it could be 17-23 like it was in their last game with Elon, you know, and that you're hanging in there and then you don't score, and you don't score, and you don't score, and then it affects them, you know, mentally, and then the margin gets big, and that's what happened. And then, you know, then to be able to break that margin down in the second half is really just on them and their effort, you know, and their listening and really being the aggressor in the second half. But, you know, it was tough. It was definitely a little bit of a chess match with, you know, the foul situation.
Coach, would you say that stretch in the second half was one of the best stretches your team has played this season? That run that you made?
I do, because as a whole, I mean, we had a great, like, you know, 3 or 4 minute segment in the Northern Iowa game, and then we had segments in the Western Kentucky game, and you know, in the non-conference, and then we had, you know, great spurts obviously in the first start of our conference. But I think as a whole, as a unit, that sustainability was probably one of the best. Yeah.
Coach, you've talked about this season being a process, getting ready for March, getting this team where it needs to go. How does tonight's game fit into that process?
Well, I mean, that, like I said, it wasn't anything about any type of moral victory, but you know, just, you know, the consistency that when you have a team that doesn't have any seniors, you know, you're wanting folks to continue to step up and be consistent with their effort, no matter if their execution may be a little off or if they're. So I mean, this you know, talk is cheap. You know, I told them, I laid it down the line, whether they got to go write it on the locker or whatever they got to put. We just got to write it, and we got to start marking down, you know, each step, because we got to take care of business, because we are this team, and we need to, you know, be this team that, you know, that you saw on the floor today, because it isn't fake. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. This is what we've been building on all year. So, you know, we have to take this momentum. We have to take care of business with the rest of the games that are on our schedule. We have to one at a time.
Darius, 15 points in the night for you. You got into some early foul trouble. What was it like going up against James Madison? You're the lockdown defender for this team, as admitted by your coach on multiple occasions. But what was it like to go up against that kind of offense with James Madison?
I feel it's the same as like every night. I just gotta stay disciplined and move my feet instead of getting like dumb calls and reaching in and reaching down on players, and so I can stay in the game.
Coach, after that first half, do you make an adjustment with your team at halftime, or do you kind of just say that the second half comes from better shooting?
You know what I did? I actually did. I read the stat shot. I was like, you're 8 for 39. They had 15 shots. Obviously, they were 10 for 10 from the free throw line, but I'm like, you're 8 for 39. Slow down a little bit. You know, we do score in transition. I mean, sometimes it's like a kiss of death, because people probably go, slow down, run this. But you know, the trusting in them. That's what we were. You know, pretty hard on them in practice, and they need to continue to be harder. You know, getting them to understand, because you know we do things really well, and I trust that Darius is gonna, you know, find, or Crystal's gonna find and generate. But so you know, you gotta live and die sometimes with that. You know, Angie hits that 3, or you know, Angie makes that little layup there. You know, you're sitting a little bit different. But I focused on that. I was like, look, you're 8 for 39. You have 10 more shots than they do. You know, you need to settle down. We're missing some point blank things, and you know, you need to settle down. And they had a choice. So it's all them. You know, it's all them when they put their minds to it. This is the product that we can have. And you know, like I said, we fell short of what our goal was, but you know, we got to use this momentum.
Coach, talk about playing tonight without Ashanae Durant. She's been one of the most consistent players for you all season, but from a freshman, not playing out with her out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the group did a good job. I mean, that's one thing about sports. You know, you just move forward. I mean, it teaches these kids such an incredible thing of resiliency, because you obviously care about your teammates, but the show goes on, and You know, I thought that, you know, we went back and practiced and we were going and this is what we got to go with, and I thought they handled it really well. But, you know, they can speak of that. It was nice. You know, it's nice having her on the floor. She gives you that versatility to go against smaller players, and I mean, they can talk about his teammates, you know, playing with her too. If you guys want to comment? Darius, you want to comment?
She just gives us a different feel on the floor. So it's always nice having her on the floor, but other people have to step up.
Yeah.
Coach, what can you take away from this game and take into the William and Mary game up next?
Well, they need to take it into it. They spoke first in the locker room about that. Go ahead, Kelly.
We're just going to use this as momentum. Even though we didn't get the win, you know, we play with a lot of heart, and I think that's what matters. So we're going to take this and we're going to give them back one year.
Coach, tough day for Alo, 2 for 14 from the field. Did have 15 rebounds, but how do you help her through a game like this?
Yeah, you know, I mean, everybody's got to stay positive. We all have nights where we don't put the ball in. I mean, you know, and I think Kelly was trying to talk to her a lot about that too. It's like, look, we're still going to battle with you. You had 15 rebounds. You stop a lot in defense. You know, she takes it personal, which is a good thing. I'm like, look, I want you to be happy about it, but you also can't linger over it. You can't, you know, we got a game on Sunday. So you can be mad, and then boom, it's over, and you got to go. You know, they're big, only had 2 baskets too. There was like a battle of those 2 guys going at each other, and, you know, you know, Kelly's a sophomore, he's a sophomore. I don't say this, I don't give her any crutches, or you know, but keep developing. They're still developing. He's played basketball probably, you know, 5 years of her life. So just keep developing. You know, it's not like you came over here in our system and been playing since you've been, you know, 4 years old. So she still has so much more to learn, and she got to keep her confidence, and that's it. You know, but she provides a big source for us on the defensive end. I mean, 15 boards against that team without Nay, who was giving us, you know, 9 to 10 rebounds. She stepped up and got us extra rebounds, and obviously Darius got 7, which was all right here. So Darius picked up where Nay, you know, so between Darius and E, you know, they picked up some of those rebounds that we were missing from Nay. I mean, that's where Nay gets, you know, big boards for us and big putbacks. So, you know, you guys think about it. That's the way the game rolls. Kelly's had shot situations. Darius has had nights, and right, what do you do? Just get right back on, you know, the horse and get ready to roll.
Coach, program win number 300 for Kenny Brooks. Did you say anything after him after the game?
I'm sorry. I worry about Hofstra, but I should have. You'd have told me that before the game. Probably slapped you. So I'm glad you did tell me before the game. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's about us. But I will. I'll text him. Of course, he'll probably rub it in and it's on me. So, but yeah, thanks for that question.
Anytime.
Any other questions? True.
Thanks, Coach.